Hi, beautiful people. So just gonna be honest with you, I really thought I was gonna be filming a totally different video today. I want to film this video, or have wanted to, but I thought it was gonna be next week that I would talk about it because I didn't feel super ready to do it. But then when I sat down to the other one, I just felt like God was like, nope, you're doing this one. So here we go. Basically what I want to talk about today is self-love and just this kind of movement I've started to see. You've probably started to see it, notice it. It's just all about putting yourself first, loving yourself before you love other people. Like you can't love, people say this, you can't love yourself before you love other people. Or you have to love yourself before you love other people. And you know, the most important thing you can do is to put yourself first and love yourself first, and self-care and self-love and all this stuff. All of it, and just kind of putting together in this whole, like, one big category of self-love. And my kind of problem with the movement and just this all becoming very trendy and more people starting to live this way and think that this is right and something wise to follow, it's starting to kind of creep into Christian communities too. And that's kind of why I'm like, let's talk about it, because I don't think that as a Christ follower it's something wise for us to listen to, and I'm gonna talk about why. So before I get into any more though, I want to just say that my pretty much favorite person, like my role model online, is Allie Beth Stuckey, and she's talked about this before on her podcast. So I'm gonna link, well, she also has a YouTube channel where she puts up her podcast, so I'll link either her podcast or her videos where she's talked about this before, because she's a big role model for me and she's given me a ton of inspiration for this, and she's really poured into me a lot, so I love her. But a lot of people in the last video had said, when I said, you know, is there anything that you want me to try to debunk, like a Christian phrase, because I talked about, oh, God just wants you to be happy, kind of talked about why I don't think that's true. And the last one I said, is there any other phrase you want me to talk about? And everyone said, you have to love yourself before you love others. What do you think about that? So here it is. So getting into the actual video of what I want to say, this is the biggest problem I have with self-love and putting yourself first. If every single person on the entire planet listen to this advice, you have to put yourself before everyone else, and you love yourself more importantly above everyone else, then no one would ever love other people. Everyone would just keep everything to themselves, and the world, in my opinion, would look 10 times, 100 times maybe worse than it already is. Like, the world is messed up, the world is sinful, the world is broken, and we hurt each other all the time already. And so if we all said, you know what, me above you, me above everyone else, I'm first, I need to put myself, love myself above everyone else, then everything would be 10 times more messed up. No one would feed the poor. No one would clothe the naked. No one would help the sick. No one would teach or help kids to grow and become better. Like, everyone would be like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I give up. It's too hard to do this. It's too hard to love people. It's too hard to give up my job to go and serve orphans in Haiti. And it's too hard. Like, you know what? I give up. And no one would do anything good anymore. No one would do something that's loving or that's selfless, because every single person would be so focused on themselves that the world, seriously, everything would be way worse than it already is. Like, if you look around, I mean, it's broken and messed up already. But man, if everyone listened to this advice, I think it would be way worse than it already is. Here's the deal, okay? We've always loved ourselves first. Since the beginning of time, we've been selfish. I think there's never anyone I've met who's never made a selfish choice. Never been selfish once. Like, there's not one soul. Every single person has been selfish before. Every single person has put themselves first. We all do it, right? It's all over the place. And I mean, I just think, like, it's always about me. Especially in America, our culture is so, oh my goodness. If it doesn't go our way, we throw a fit. We call the manager, you know? Our food didn't come fast enough at the restaurant. That green light didn't come fast enough. That red light it took forever. Or my favorite example is, like, I remember I was in Disney World once, and there was literally a little girl, probably 6 or 7 years old, so like my favorite age group of children, and clearly she had cancer, and she was like a kid who had a make-a-wish. Like, her wish was granted to go to Disney World, and it said, like, she had a bag, and on the, like, stroller they had her, and it said, like, this is my make-a-wish, or whatever. Like, it was pretty clear that this was her make-a-wish dream, to come to Disney World and meet the princess, and we were all in line at the time for this. I don't even remember who it was, but it was one of those lines where you had to wait in, like, there's like little things blocking you. So it was a big line, right? And there was this mom with her little kid, probably around the same age as this little girl, the Make-A-Wish girl, and they were up next to see whoever it was. And I remember the Make-A-Wish girl kind of like got to cut the line. It's her Make-A-Wish, right? And I will never forget, the mom was like, are you kidding me? She's cutting us all? How dare she do that? She needs to go to the end of the line, blah, blah, in front of this little girl. And also this mom's little child, like, in front of probably 50 people standing around. Everyone was like, it was so awkward, and my heart was like racing. I am not the type of person to like be bold and like raise my voice at people in public ever. Like, I'm not, that's just not me. But in that moment, I was like, oh Lord, I want to say something, because in that moment I was like, what is wrong with you? Are you kidding me? She clearly, this is her make-a-wish to come to Disney World. She's going to die any day, maybe, or within the year. I don't know. Like, I literally don't know this girl from Adam, but clearly she has a right to cut you. Like, this is her make-a-wish. And this person could not wait 2 or 3 more minutes for this little girl to have her make-a-wish dream come true. If that is not the epitome of selfish and putting myself first and above everyone else, I don't know what is. That made me so mad, and it even makes me mad. You can hear in my voice how mad I am right now, because I think about that. I'm like, man, people are selfish. We don't need more self-love. We already have enough self-love. Everyone has put themselves first. Everyone is selfish, and there's not one single person who we need more of that from. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If we all loved ourselves more, the world, again, would be way more messed up than it already is. Okay, I'm going to read to you now a few quotes. If you just Google self-love quotes, all of these will come up. You'll find them. And I just want you to think for yourself what you think about these things, because I could give my whole opinion on them, but I'm going to just really quickly go through them, and then I'm going to give you 3 quotes from people I actually think that it's wise to listen to. And I want you to think about the difference between these people. First of all, I don't have all of the actual people who have said these quotes, so I'm just going to name for you like the website that I listed. But I want you to think about the difference between these quotes and the people who said them, / the websites, because I don't have all the names. I'll get there in a second. Anyway. Love yourself first quotes. Love yourself first, because that's who you'll be spending the rest of your life with. This comes from the Awesome Quotes website. Love yourself first so that you know what you deserve. This is by Karen Salmon-Scan. I can't really read it because it's really pixely. And then the third one, you must love yourself first, then you create a ripple of love that will touch everyone's lives. You have the power within you. Make a start and heal yourself first. Leon Brown from livelifehappy.com. Okay, so I have problems with all 3 of these quotes. I'm not going to pick them apart and just like wreck these people, because I don't think that they, like, that's just not my job. It's not my job to do that. God is the judge, and like I can say why I don't think they're wise and why I don't like them a lot, but I really don't want to say all these people are evil, all these people are horrible, and they have horrible intentions. I think really like they're trying to have good intentions here. They're trying to help people, but I just don't think that it's good advice on how to help people. So I'm not even going to talk about the first 2, because, I mean, really quick. First of all, there are plenty of other people who you're going to be spending the rest of your life with. If you get married, you're going to be with your husband or wife for the rest of your life until one of you dies. You're going to have kids. If you know, Lord willing, if you have kids, then you're going to have your kids for the rest of your life. Your family, your friends, you'll have for years or decades, Lord willing. That's a long time to be with people, and that's not an excuse. Just because I'm going to be in my body for the rest of my life, you know, I'm going to be with myself most of the time, that doesn't mean that everyone else is just like, I'm going to put you, you know, second. I'm going to put myself first, because I'm with myself the most, okay? And the other one, like, you know what you deserve. No, you don't. For me, like, I know most women are their own worst enemy. Like, most women look in the mirror every day and they're like, oh, you're so ugly. You are disgusting. You look horrible today. Like, we are so hard on ourselves. I used to be just like that. I mean, I never felt smart enough, never felt good enough, never felt pretty enough. I made a whole video on confidence and how I actually became confident. Like, I changed from this super insecure person to so much more confident. And I have the whole story on that, which I'll link below for you, where I talk about it in detail. But I can tell you it certainly did not come from more self-love, because I don't know what I like. How I treat myself is probably not a good way. Like, I think I deserve to be really hard on myself. I think that I should continually just criticize myself and be hard on myself. Like, that is not a good thing. And if I loved myself and tried to get all the love from, again, the next quote, within myself, that's impossible. Love is not just something that you can like dig down deep enough and tap into and find and be like, man, there it is. Now I can love everyone. No, that's not how it works. Love comes from God. This is 1 John 4. Love comes from God, because God is love. And none of us could ever love one another or ourselves if we didn't have a God who loved us in the beginning. Love is not something that's just in our soul, deep down. And like, if I just find it, bam, I'm happy. I'm just gonna be able to love myself, and then I'll be able to love everyone else. That's the problem I have, is like, it says that if you love yourself, then all this ripple effect can happen, and oh, you can just heal yourself. No, you can't. And that's the thing that I'll say, and I'm just gonna stop my rant for a second, and before I move into the good quotes that I want you to follow and live by, there are people in this world who really truly have a mental illness or a something like a deep wound, a traumatic event, or something that happened where people truly, absolutely hate themselves, hate everything about themselves, everything deep within you, and end up, literally killing themselves or cutting themselves, just internally, like, it's like that fight or flight, but the fight within yourself, or excuse me, the flight where you just turn inside onto yourself. You hate you. A lot of times hate is just a distorted form of hurt. I just did this like really, but no, sorry to like, I'm not trying to make light of this. Really, I mean this. Hate is, honest to goodness, like most of the time it's a distorted form of hurt. So if someone hurt you or did something in you that broke you, you have this wound within you. A lot of people turn that on themselves, like, man, I caused this to happen to myself. I did this to myself. Now I'm going to hurt myself and cut myself or kill myself, or just take very, very drastic and terrible measures to do that to themselves. And then people are out there saying, well, you can heal yourself. No, you can't. You can't just do that, especially through loving you. If you hate yourself, there's no way that it's impossible to just like get that from nowhere. And again, you can't tap within yourself. You do have to heal. You do have to confront that wound in order to change. But that's not coming from just you loving yourself more and taking more baths with bath bombs and going to the spa and getting your nails done. I'm sorry. Like really, it comes from actually going to that place of hurt. Sometimes that means going to a counselor. Sometimes it means going to a friend. Sometimes that means getting healing prayer and going to that wound and going to that place of hurt and dealing with that, confronting that so that you can actually get healing from it. That some people who really can't love themselves and who do truly hate themselves, that is what the problem is. We do need to heal. We do need to confront that and help or ask God to help us heal in that. But that is honestly, for the most people who follow this self-love thing, that's not what it is. Really, like for the majority of people who follow this self-love thing and more self-love, more self-care, it comes down to selfishness. We just want to naturally put ourselves first. And so when people encourage us to do it more, of course we're going to want to do that. That's our nature, our sinful nature, to put ourselves first. But for people who truly, and maybe this is you, really hate themselves, or you hate who you are with all that is within you, that there's something, I believe, mental illness or some traumatic event or something that happened that someone did to you, or something that happened in you that you need to go to and get healing from. And it's not going to be an overnight thing where it just bam, fixed. But if you actually confront it, something can change, right? You'll never change what you're unwilling to confront. I've heard that before, and that's true. So anyway, for those of you out there who are struggling with that, get some help. Get some support, get some healing in there, and I promise you'll actually be able to have freedom from this hatred of yourself and just hating all that is within you. So, yeah. Okay, now I'm going to move on to quotes that are by people that I think you've probably actually heard of, and by people I think have changed the world, right? And I'm not trying to hate on the people who said the other quotes, but really, like, never heard of those websites, never heard of the people who I did name. These three people who I'm going to name, I'm pretty sure you've heard of, and I think are very inspiring and who really did change the world in different ways. So the first one is MLK Jr., Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He said this. This is one of my favorite quotes ever. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Notice, he didn't say, what are you doing for yourself? Paul in Philippians 2 verse 3 says, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves. Notice, he didn't say value yourself above everyone else. And Jesus, one of, I think, the most influential people, if not, one of the most, I am a Christian, so I think he's the most influential, but he said this to his disciples. You know that those who are regarded as rulers over the Gentiles lord it over them, and their high officials exercise authority over them. Not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be a slave of all. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. Oh, okay, all three of those people changed the world in different ways and have influenced the world as it is today. Like, things would not be the same had Martin Luther King Jr. not lived actually lived out that quote that he said, had Paul not lived out that way, had Jesus not lived out that way, things would be drastically different if they had put themselves first and loved themselves first. And this is what I'm going to close with. I don't think that the problem is we need more self-love. I think that what Jesus says in the Bible about denying yourself is what we need more of. So not more self-love, but more self-denial. I don't think it's more, finding yourself, going out and seeking who you are and trying to find out who you are. I don't think it's more, we need more finding yourself. I think it's more losing yourself, right? Not more self-love, more self-denial. Not more finding yourself, but more losing yourself. That's when Jesus says that that's when you truly find life. That's when you truly find joy, and when you truly find this peace within you. Because, and I haven't said this yet, but I think behind the self-love thing, what are we looking for? What do you think people are looking for? Probably they're looking for happiness. But happiness is fleeting. It might feel good for a second to go get that massage or your nails done, or, all these things that the people in those articles who write about more self-love say to do. That might feel good for a little bit, but it's going to leave you empty. It's going to leave you feeling disappointed. But losing yourself and actually giving up yourself and putting others before yourself, loving others more than you love yourself, and serving other people first, thinking, I'm hungry, I need to go and serve myself. No, when you're hungry, think about how you can go and feed someone else who's hungry. When you need something, think about someone else who needs something too. Like actually putting yourself last. That is how you can become the greatest. That's what Jesus said. Loving yourself first will not leave you feeling happy. In fact, it'll leave you more empty and confused and lost. But denying yourself, losing yourself, that is when you will find life. That is when you'll find true joy and true happiness, which, again, there's no, happiness and joy are two different things, but you will truly find joy, when you truly find satisfaction, is not in self-love, it's in self-denial. It's in losing yourself. My last little thing for you I want to leave you with is this. The two greatest commandments in the Bible are to love God and to love your neighbor, right? To love other people. It's just interesting because when you actually do that, you'll actually find, again, all those things that people want and are looking for. When you love God first, He will give you that love. Like, you just have this relationship, right? Like when you love God, He will give you all the love you need to then go out and love other people. And when you actually go out and love other people, you'll find way more joy, way more peace, way more satisfaction than you could have ever done or found if you had put yourself first and tried to love yourself first, right? Not about loving you, it's about loving God and loving other people. And then you'll find all those things that you're looking for. I believe that. So with that being said, have a great day and know that you are so loved and so beautiful.